Hello, and welcome to this tutorial on deploying a Docker-based application to the Apprenda platform. Today we're going to take a basic Docker-based application written in Node.js. We're going to cover some of the settings in the Docker file. We're going to deploy the application, and we're going to talk about some of the things you have to look out for when you're deploying a Docker-based app. So here I've got the Docker file for my node-based application. You can see the application code over here. We're going to use a base image of node argon in our Docker file. We're going to create a working directory. We're going to assign that working directory. We're going to copy our package.json file into the working directory. We're then going to run an npm install, which you would do on any node-based application. We're going to copy all the application code and all the node modules into the container. We're going to expose port 3000, and at deploy time, we're going to run npm start to get our application up and running. Now, when you deploy a Docker-based application to Apprenda, there's two main things you have to be focused on. One, a deployment manifest file, which you're going to see here, and this has the name of the application, the port that we're going to expose. Notice this matches the exact port that we exposed in our Docker container. And you want to make sure that your archive structure that we're going to create reflects a Linux services folder with your application underneath. This is basically due to how Apprenda structures its archives for any application, but particularly for Docker, we're using our Linux services for deploying a Docker-based application. So with that being said, we're going to log into the developer portal. We're going to give our application a name and an alias. And I've got some backup archives already created just to save time, so we're gonna save this guy. Our application was successfully created. Now it's pulling apart this archive, reading the deployment manifest, understanding the bits that have to be deployed, creating a container, and understanding all the settings that go along with this application for deployment. So this takes us to the definition stage. And when you're deploying any kind of application on the Apprenda platform, they start off, the first time with a definition stage. You go to a sandbox stage, and then ultimately, for that production quality deployment, it's going to be a publish stage. So here we can see that our archive was successfully processed. And for the purposes of time saving, we're gonna use a subdomain for this guy. This just makes it a lot easier for routing, etc. To me, it's more aesthetically pleasing as well to use a subdomain. And we're also going to be certain to manually tell the platform that we are dealing with a Docker-based application. This way the platform knows exactly what to look for. You could supply this information in the deployment manifest as well, but I wanted to demonstrate where you can configure this manually in the portal. Okay, so it looks like we've successfully deployed to the definition stage. Now we're going to promote this to Sandbox so we can actually get a URL where we can view the application in the environment. So as we can see, our deployment was successful, and we've successfully promoted our application to the Sandbox phase. You can see that here. So we're going to launch this guy. And here we can see our application. There's the subdomain that we've set up and the version of the application in the subdomain. And that's been deploying a Docker-based application to the Apprenda platform. Thanks very much for watching.